All right, welcome back to Mr. P Helps with Geometry. This is Unit 1, Topic 1, SLT, day number 8, that is. So in our first one, we're going to be copying a segment, copying an angle. All right, so in this warm-up, it says, name a line that contains points T and P. So now T and P are on this line right here, which would be called line G. And it says, name a line that intersects the plane containing points Q, N, and P. Q, N, and P, so that would be this plane right here. Now, the parallelogram is the plane, and the line that goes through is the one that is going straight up and down. You can see by the dotted lines. That means that you can't really see it because it's going through that plane, and that would be line J. Then it says, name a plane that contains, there is only one plane in this figure, and that is plane S, it's denoted by that italic letter in the corner. Or you can name the plane by using any 3 points on that plane, like plane P, T, and R, as long as those 3 points are not collinear. All right, so once again, this is copy segment, copy an angle, which I know I did show in the last video. So the first thing you're going to want to always do is give yourself a ray to start with. So a ray would simply have one side as an endpoint and then an arrow going in one of the directions. So it says copy EF. So I'm going to put my fixed point on E. I'm going to put my pencil on F. And then I'm going to make an arc showing that I measured the distance and making sure that it actually goes through point F. And then I'm going to make a copy of it. So I'm going to bring it down here and I'm going to make the exact same arc on here. And that second point of intersection is going to show me where the other endpoint goes. So it says construct a copy of, so I'm going to call this E prime, and I'm going to call the other side F prime. So therefore, we have simply a copy. Now, the last thing I would want to do is I would want to put my notation. I'm going to put one mark here and one mark here, just noting that they are the same. Now, I know some people might want to erase the part of the ray that we didn't use in our answer, but I would leave it because it shows that I did my work. Now, I'm going to do one more example. I'm going to do an example now of angle. So it says construct a copy of angle JKL. So I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to give myself a ray by giving myself an endpoint and an arrow going infinitely in one direction. I'm going to put my fixed point on the vertex, which is K. Now, I would suggest for this question, just ignore J and L. J and L really have no meaning for us. I'm going to make an arc. It really doesn't matter what size, as long as it hits both rays of the angle. So those 2 points of intersection, keep in mind, J and L mean absolutely nothing. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make the copy of that exact same arc over here. And now what I've done, I've made the same copy of the same arc for both. Now all I need to do is now measure the distance from intersection to intersection. Once again, ignore J and L. They are there just basically to distract you. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to come over here. So it should be the same distance from intersection to intersection. Make the exact same arc. And now I know the location of the other point. Now, if I want to give these points names, I could call this X, and that would make this point right here X prime. And then I could call the other one something as well. I could call this point Y. And I have just found where point Y is, which is right here. And I'll call this Y prime. So now all I got to do is take my straight edge and connect my vertex to that point. And we literally have the exact same angle. So last thing I would want to do is put my notation. There's one mark here and this angle right here. And keep in mind I'm using a keypad, so it's not the best here. So I can't use my normal writing tool on this version of Active Inspire. So this is just more copy an angle and copy a segment. I did just show an exact example of that, plus there's the last video as well, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I can also show, so these are some challenge questions here on page 31. It says make a line segment where it's A plus B. So I'm going to do this exactly the same, giving myself a ray, and then I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is measure segment A. So remember, this is segment addition. So we are going to be adding, that is the size of A. So I come down here, I make that, and that's going to be the same as A. And now I'm going to do the same thing by measuring B. And open this up a little bit to there. Okay, so that's about the measure of B. And I'm going to use the endpoint of A here. And I'm going to add this segment to this answer. So that would be represented by A, and that would be B. So all of this is A plus B. So all of that is your answer. Now for the next question, you would do the same thing, but you would do B, which I can probably show pretty quickly here. So I'm going to make segment B first, and then I'm going to subtract A from it. So here's the size of segment B, and then I'm going to go back and measure segment A using my compass, and then I'm going to subtract that difference from what B was. So what I'm left with is the answer, which is this right here. So it's just this little portion right here that I'm circling is your A minus B section. Now when doing the next one, 3A plus 2B, all you literally got to do is the same as question number 1, but you're just going to do 3A's side by side, 2 more B's next to it, and then you've got one long segment. That's 3A's plus 2B's. Now, doing an example of what this would look like in angles. So you're going to do copy an angle just the same as you did before. So I'm going to do angle C plus D. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the exact same arc on not just C, but also over here on D. And then also again on my new angle. So I come over here. Remember, this should be one angle that is bigger than C and D because it's going to be an angle the size of the two combined. So point of intersection to point of intersection. And once I'm happy with that, so I can make my arc there. Come down here and make angle C. So from intersection to this one. Perfect. And then I do the exact same thing for angle D. So measure intersection to intersection, and then I'm going to add this to what I've already made, which is angle C. Now, if I connect this fixed point to that point, that will be angle C, but I want to add that by keep going more to angle C, and that will be the location of C plus D. So now I can connect it, and there we go. You've got yourself an obtuse angle. This obtuse plus this acute is going to make a just slightly bigger obtuse angle. And of course, I would put arrows on the ends, and then I would denote this angle right here as C plus D. Now, once again, I can't write very well with this pad, but C plus D degrees. Just as it's written right there, basically. All right, and that, I believe, is going to be the end of this video. So thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day.